After being first arrested in London in 1910, the Congress was waiting to take him under its wings. Had he consented, Savarkar might well have managed to ascend to positions of prominence within that party, or been in government since the time provincial ministries got sworn in from 1937. But he chose to lead a hitherto decrepit party like the Hindu Mahasabha that was more like a broad social coalition with several leaders having dual membership with the larger Congress umbrella, and give it a definitive program and plan of action. He firmly believed that the Hindu community needed a strong political voice and that the Congress, having gone way too far in its agenda of Muslim appeasement, had grievously wronged the Hindus. The Mahasabha came into a competitive contention with both the Congress and the Muslim League in India's electoral politics in no time. It slowly also began to be invited to the high table of negotiations by the Viceroy, where hitherto it was only the Congress and the Muslim League that were called upon as being true representative voices of the people of India. The virulence of what could be perceived as his anti-Muslim rhetoric during his years as the head of the Mahasabha and thereafter would need to be seen in the context of the times where the vivisection of the country on communal lines was being vociferously demanded and pushed through by the leaders of that community. However, the promised land of Hindu Rashtra that was conceptualized by Savarkar and the constitution of free Hindustan that the Mahasabha came up with in 1945 envisioned a truly secular India where no individual was to be discriminated on the basis of religion, caste, gender, and community. Nowhere in these speeches or documents are there threats or allusions to second-class citizenship to any community. What is an unambiguous ask of every citizen is unalloyed allegiance, sans any extraterritorial loyalties, towards the Indian nation-state, to be eligible for any privileges and rights of citizenship. Yet, Savarkar perhaps failed as a leader in these difficult times that the country was going through. He failed in his attempts to create a coalition of like-minded parties who did not see eye to eye either with the Congress or the Muslim League. But more tragically, he failed in creating consensus even within his own party. Factional feuds and individual-centric coteries within the Mahasabha spoilt whatever chances that the party, which had just been galvanized into electoral success, could hope for. Policy flip-flops and an inability to take decisions at crucial times, such as the call for direct action that could pressurize the British to commit to their promise of freedom, demoralized the rank and file of his party and several ardent followers. His party came a cropper in the 1946 elections and was soon to disintegrate into political irrelevance. The biggest challenge that Savarkar perhaps faced in his life was his implication in the murder of his lifelong political and ideological opponent, Gandhi, in 1948. The implication had been based on a police approver's confessional statements, and as the prosecution was to discover in the course of the year-long trial, the evidence did not quite add up. Savarkar was the only accused to be honorably acquitted. Despite a legal clearance, the moral albatross hung on him, and the dark shadow of the assassination continues to cloud his legacy till date. The Jeevan Lal Kapoor Commission that reopened the debate around the murder after Savarkar's passing away in 1966 did more harm to his legacy posthumously. Hence, even more than 5 decades after his death, Savarkar intrudes contemporary political debates like a few characters of our recent past have. Conferment of the country's highest civilian honor, the Bharat Ratna,